On the Bus International Virtual Conference, and I am here with Carl. Carl, what do you think about this virtual conference? Is this your first time, or have you been doing this a bunch with Chris and the crew?
Yeah, this is my second time here, and wow, I just it still blows my mind the format and how it all comes together. It reminds me how to use my arrow keys on my keyboard again. So, but yeah, no, this is a great event. I love it. I love it, and certainly looking forward to the day and everything that's this is the workshops and stuff. So yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. And you and I are going to have a little fun right now because
Yeah.
you have a different background, kind of coming in through the same channeling. I'm going to say as me. I too, I have a love for radio, and I also love television and doing this live streaming. I created the World of Ability Podcast Network, and so when Chris introduced you, he said you're a podcast strategist. So that sounds really exciting to me. So tell us more, Carl. What is all wrapped up in your role as a podcast strategist?
Yeah, certainly, Kurt. I'll tell you what, what we do, the biggest thing we do is we help coaches, consultants, even speakers who don't have the time or the technical skills to either be in the podcasting space as a host or guest. We help them navigate through that. First, it was strategizing, helping them strategize on what their show is going to be about. A lot of people come to the space and go, okay, I think I need a show, but they don't know what exactly they need. So we help them build that strategy. And then from there, we walk them through this thing called audio branding. Everyone knows what their visual brand is, fonts, colors, logos, graphics, things like that. But the audio brand, big companies like McDonald's, da 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 da, or Netflix, da da, they get it, right? But for other companies, they're not quite there yet. So we help them navigate through that. And then when it's the appropriate time, we either launch their show or get them on podcasts, which allows them to be seen as the go-to expert. And what are they doing? They're just showing up, and we're doing all the work in the background for them.
Nice, nice. So yeah, a little disclaimer here. You're just kind of coming in and you're our guests. So a little disclaimer, this does not necessarily reflect your work product, right, Carl? This is Chris and I working together. So this is my chance from the World Ability Podcast Network and my
Yeah.
styling to do a little featuring of the work of Chris and this crew of 28 of us right now, in the conference. And Chris was very excited to be able to do this thing of 28 of us are in here. And right now we're out on LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and then those videos are going to be available to share out on other social medias. And I can also restream it onto, Instagram Live and Facebook Live and whatever we want to do to sprawl this out. You want to speak to that a little bit? The role of marketing that podcast plays?
Oh gosh, yeah, it's huge. I mean, podcasting is a massive opportunity for people who, if you're thinking of, well, I need to do some marketing. I'm just going to do some social posts. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're tied to an algorithms. Same as if you're just, or if you're just doing conventional, you know, looking at conventional ways in which we market. Radio, television, newspapers. Not to say they're dead, but they're certainly quieter than they used to be. And with podcasting or what you guys are doing here with video, I mean, it's all marketing. It's what is it that your clients are looking for? Are they, and where are they looking for you? So that's why I think it's a great way. And even events like this are phenomenal for marketing and promoting what it is that you're doing. So yeah.
Very good. So, Carl, again, being some sort of, in loose terms, a colleague of yours, just being introduced here in this
Yeah.
interview, this is kind of fun, impromptu stuff here, improv.
Yeah.
How do I find your work? If I want to see the results of your podcast strategies, where do I look? Guide me on the Googles or, on the LinkedIn's or YouTube's. Where do I find your podcasts? And otherwise, how I can read over why I want you as my strategist.
Yeah, for sure. And the best place is podcastsolutionsmadesimple.com, podcastsolutionsmadesimple.com, where you'll see right on the front page a number of the clients that we've worked with and a number of our philosophies about, what's important to us. And it doesn't mean it's gospel. It just means it's our approach. But yeah, and of course we're on social media. We are on LinkedIn. We're posting on LinkedIn on a regular basis, also doing lives, but but also doing regular posts too, sharing our podcast episodes and stuff there. So yeah, definitely check us out because we'd love to. If nothing else, we like having conversations with fellow content creators, podcasters, people who are looking to just make a difference in the world that they're in, right? Whether it be business or whether it be passion projects. We love having conversations with folks.
Yeah, I agree. I like to talk. I have some sort of a gift of gab, and I really premiere this as part of the power of this conference that Chris has made possible. Because just think about, Chris bringing you and me together, and if you and I continue our interactions after this event, what a difference you could be making in the future of my work. Because you and I could be some sort of allies. I could be a referral partner to you, correct?
We could be partners. We could be buddies.
Buddies are.
We could have coffee together. It might be an airplane ride in between those two things, but no, seriously. I mean, to me, it's all about building relationships. That's what Chris is intending with these events too. It's not about sales. It's not about, yeah, okay, that might happen, but it's really about building relationships. Sales isn't about, think back to the 1970s. I guess I'm dating myself here, but sales is not about, some person in a bad suit saying, hey, you got to buy this car. It's, it's the greatest thing on the planet. No, it's not about that. It's about building relationships. Once you've built those relationships, you never know where things are going to go. It could be a joint venture partnership. It could be a, like what you said, Kurt, it could be getting together and seeing how we can support one another, or it could be business partners. It could be just getting on each other's shows or podcasts or supporting each other in the social media space. It could be clients too. You never know where it's going to lead, but it starts with that building of the relationship. And so far, Kurt, you've done a great job at doing it. So I say, yeah, after today, we need to have either a virtual coffee or an in-person one.
Yeah, that sounds great. And if we do continue this journey, you'll likely meet my wife, Sue. The crew here back in March and June, they enjoyed my better half, my wife, Sue. And so I'm actually here in my wife, Sue's daytime job office. I'm here at Carroll University in Waukesha, Wisconsin. It is Wisconsin's first ever college. Carroll University was established as Carroll College before Wisconsin became a state, so how about that? So, but
That's
she
very cool.
moonlights with me. So after she's done with her Carroll work weekdays, she dives into all this, and, working in the educational field, even though this event is, in the middle of the afternoon, the last, March and June, she was able to set the time aside to do this and take care of her university duties otherwise. So it's exciting how we can combine all this. You spoke a little bit about your website, and you talked about you and I talking in a coffee and whatever. What else can you tell folks that if they're liking the idea of talking to you like I'm talking to you, what more do you want to give them to be able to contact you, and the others can network with you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, everything starts with a conversation, right? So the website's a good place. I mean, what we do in that conversation is it's kind of like what we're doing. We have a little bit of a get to know you session where we just, I just don't jump into working with people. I want to know a little bit more about you and what your passions are and what you want to, where do you want to take your show? So that's why I say, hey, let's have a virtual coffee after today. Not just you and I, Kurt, but if you're watching this or hearing this, let's connect. It's as easy as going to the website, or you can go to find me out on LinkedIn, Carl Richards. Just look for the bald guy. Apparently, there's a couple of bald Carl Richards though, so you make sure you pick the one that looks like me. And you can even reach out that way too, and you'll see some of the things there that we do. But again, to me, it's about building relationships, and just getting on a VC and a VC virtual coffee and going from there.
Excellent. There you go. Well, a good way to describe an example of what comes of conferences like this, and having set up with On the Bus as a metaverse experience. I've been hearing people are enjoying it, figuring it out. It's the old thing of technology is great when it works, but a lot of help here, people attending, figuring this out. And as far as our interview right now, the YouTube video is out at our handle, youtube.com/@abilitynetwork. And then my LinkedIn profile, linkedin.com/in/Hey Kurt, HEYKURT. And so I'll be putting in the chat that everybody here, the 27 here are all going to be able to see the links to the LinkedIn Live and the YouTube Live after we conclude here. Any last words, Carl? I think we're pretty well done, but I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, whatever it is, just if you've never been to one of these events, certainly come to one. But if podcasting is something that you've been scratching your head about, it piqued your interest, it starts with a conversation, and the best time to start the conversation is now. If you were to ask me, 5 years ago, when's the best time to start a podcast, I would have said probably about 2008. Second best time is right now. So